Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. This week we've got the run up to Easter. It's been a really busy time for us. I'm going to start the video with a couple of moments of calm, and trust me, I needed this week. So what have we got on? John and I have a wedding anniversary. I've got my birthday coming up. We've got a visit from my son and his fiancée because just in a couple of weeks they are getting married. So they're hoping to come up and spend a little bit of quality time with us. I think they're just checking up on us to make sure that we're ready because the wedding is in Cornwall and of course we live on the Isle of Arran. So that is not an easy thing to logistically organise, travelling from an island onto the mainland and then getting down to Cornwall, bearing in mind that we have dogs here, but we have made arrangements for the doggies. But I hope you enjoy this week's video. And here's some squirrels. So we think this is a female. And the male, when he's sitting like that, let's just say it's quite obvious that he's a male. I'll leave you to zoom in when he comes down the next time. He's the more, see the darker one, the redder one. Anyway, you'll know. If he sits like that, trust me, he's displaying his gender. The interesting thing has been that the hooded crows who live here have been coming down to try and get into the feeder as well, and neither of these squirrels have been bothered by them at all. They're really healthy looking. Good morning, fans of Arran, and welcome to Brodick Bay. And this is a picture of Glen Rosa and Goatfell just under the cloud after the fire. So thank God it's out. So, even though it's his wedding anniversary, John is working. We've had a quite quiet couple of days and it is raining outside, not very nice. And we've got these shelves and John needs storage in here. John badly needs storage because John is a hoarder. So to make this a good working area for him, the shelves are going up. So what he's done is offer the shelf up onto that wall because this kind of roof and wall space is a bit of a dead space, and he's found the level, marked the level onto the wall.
Now he's going to mark the shelf on the wall.
And that is going to fit in there. So we'll come back and we'll see that when it's done. So he's managed to get that shelf up and put a second one up. So this is obviously quite close to the ceiling. But it is a small room, and that way, hopefully, he's not going to bang his head on it. Excellent, and it gives you a little bit of storage space. So, well done, John. What can we give you to do now?
Aye, when Corey in again. Feel up, Mary. Oh, it's your night off.
So yeah, we're in the Corrie Inn again for anniversary dinner. Fire's not lit because it is actually quite warm, but it is lovely. View of the sea. I quite like that poster of the Waverley, which you can't see because the light's just not right, but so starters have arrived. We're going to share the scallops.
Maybe
John
more.
can't wait. Ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Yum yum. Alright, you can take yours now. So we're in the Arran cheese shop. This is Sarah. She's lovely and helpful, and we've been trying some cheese and buying some cheese. And look, they make it right here. Isn't this fantastic? Look, there's a labelling. And if you're coming to Arran, I thoroughly recommend it. I've gone for the Kilbride, and Kieran and Lou have pumped for the Arran cheddar with the whiskey in it, so we'll be doing a bit of tasting later. So here we are at the Lag Inn, 1791, and this is right down in the south of the island. So we've just had lunch, birthday lunch for me, and very nice. And cherry blossom out, spring is arriving, and the lilac has just started flowering. So we're off on our travels, but it was very nice to have lunch at the Lag. You can take the sheep away from Lorraine, but you can't take Lorraine away from the sheep. Happy Easter, everyone.
Oh, we can try again tomorrow, maybe.
So I'm just having a look at this sheep and lamb. The sheep's obviously lame, and the lamb, I wasn't sure what it was dragging behind it, but I've had a good look now, and it's got another lamb's skin on it, which the farmer has obviously used to adopt onto this ewe. So she must have lost a lamb, and the farmer has cut the skin off the lamb and put it on top of this lamb as a wee kind of jacket to smell like the one she's lost. So I hope her foot gets better a bit soon. But I did wonder what it was dragging it across the field, the big white sheet. You can see it there. So finally we got some nice dry weather. Some folk are enjoying it to go out in their boats, and we're out on foot because we are on the other side of Lochranza. So behind the boat you'll see the ferry terminal, and we are walking along Newton Shore towards Lag Inn Cottage, and we'll go past Hutton's non-conformity and we'll see what we can see. Oh look, primroses, my favourite little flower. Always such cheery wee faces. Boats away out. Our trail looking lovely. And we continue on our walk. So some of the path is a bit muddy because we did have quite a bit of rain, not really yesterday but the day before, so, and it's a bit uneven, so you've got to have proper footwear on, but we couldn't not be out. What a day. I mean, it just is lovely. So I think we're about halfway there to Lagging Cottage. So we're just going to crack on. And we've arrived at Lagging Cottage. It's quite a sheltered little bit. Quite a few trees, wee boat shed there. And a boat. On the sea. So there's no road here. You have to walk or get the boat round. So the back of the cottage shows it's in really good repair. The roof's fine, chimneys and the chimney pots are fine. Absolutely waterproof and watertight. Obviously a gas cylinder there. I don't know what they would have done for water. There is a winch here, but I don't know if that's a winch for a well or if that's to do with the boat. I don't really know. That's maybe been a spring in there, I don't know. I'll need to do some research. The boat shed's in pretty good nick. And Lagging Cottage itself looks in good condition. And where I'm standing right now, there's not a breath of wind. And look at that view. So this would probably have been what was called a black house. So a single story, stone building, and it would have probably originally had a turf or heather roof on it. The chimneys wouldn't have probably been there unless this was built, I don't know, 1800s and something. But originally the black house is just, there was a fire on a hearth in the middle of the house, and the smoke would have found its way out through the turf or heather on the roof. Thank God we've got mod cons like chimneys and chimney pots now. But what a sweet wee cottage. And this is a really popular destination for walkers. So there's one there. And I'm going to find John. Now, I know you might find this quite boring, but I'm just walking around and I'm looking at all the really interesting seaweeds that have been washed up here. I mean, look at the colour of that. And there's some really, really quite bright green ones, but I mean, the pinks are just, so I don't know, that might be some kind of dulse or sea lettuce. I like this one, it's very kind of finely cut. But these might make, if you had that and you dried it in between like sheets of greaseproof paper or something and pressed it with a couple of books, that would make a nice little card for someone, wouldn't it? Put that on a card and send it to someone saying, wish you were here. Oh, Very nice. Anyway, you might be bored. I thought it was interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. The weather at the beginning of the weekend wasn't brilliant, but today, which is Easter Sunday, has been great. I'm trying to get my skates on and get this video uploaded to YouTube. We've got roast lamb for Easter dinner. The kids are away tomorrow, so Kieran and Lou have to go back over to the mainland and back down to Manchester because in less than 3 weeks it is their wedding and we'll be down there for that. Kieran's been brilliant. He's been helping me do a couple of things in the computer because, as everything in our lives, nothing is uneventful. So you will hear in my voice that I'm sounding a bit croaky, and I've had a chest infection for the last 2 weeks. My desktop computer is literally dying. It is heaving its last breaths. And Kieran has helped me deal with the laptop that I have to be able to use that as a kind of temporary, possibly permanent measure, who knows. And I'm having to learn an awful lot from him because he knows more about this than I do. So it's been a wee bit hectic. We've managed to cram in quite a bit this weekend, some nice walks. We've been around the island a wee bit. And I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. It's great when you pop up in person and say hello to me. So I met another couple last night who've been following the channel. It's always lovely to say hello. We are around most of the time, and thank you very much if you've subscribed to the channel and you watch. So hopefully, as long as the computers are all working fine, I will see you next Sunday. So see you then. Thanks again.